What is going on? I am making this video still filled with disappointment from the way our season ended. So yeah, it is what it is. Miami beats us, they move on, the Rams move on, the Chiefs move on, and the Buccaneers move on. So we got Dolphins and the Chiefs, and then the Buccaneers and the Rams. We'll simulate it right now, see what happens. Oh, the Chiefs win. The Chiefs go to the Super Bowl, so at least it's not the team that knocked us out. But man, we beat down the Chiefs in the regular season, as you know. And the Rams beat the Bucs. So let's see what happens with this Super Bowl game. And we wait. And boom, the Chiefs shut out the Rams in the Super Bowl. So ironically, the Chiefs is the team I always say that it's ironic when we play them, because I, after the fantasy draft, gave them a first, second round pick, and Joe Giravicius to get Randy Moss, because we needed some firepower in our offense, and I didn't think that Giravicius and Stallworth would get it done together. Now, Stallworth I believed in, Giravicius I did too, but I needed that firepower, you know, something that's going to make the offense roll. Which actually, after this, because of this series, I made the rule for my fantasy drafts after this series. This is the most recent fantasy draft I've done, obviously, looking at when it started, as I'm showing these stats, is that the new rule is there are no trades for season 1. I get what I get, and I don't get upset. That's what we all learned in kindergarten, and that's kind of what I want to live by, because I don't think it's fair. If I go to other teams and take guys they fantasy drafted, not necessarily right. Michael Vick did still pull out the MVP, though, even though he was out for the season and he got offensive player. That win gets defensive player of the year. Look him up. I think he's a Vietnamese descent or something like that. He's a beast. And if you're into Asian culture and stuff, that's cool to see, because he was a baller at Texas A&M. He was a baller with the Cowboys. I respect people that were good for the Cowboys. I do. Antro Roll wins best DB, just edging out Sean Taylor. I will spoil now, Antro Roll has a year left on his contract. I'm moving his position back to cornerback, and I am letting him go so he can go sign somewhere else. Obviously, Michael Vick's not in the Pro Bowl because he was hurt, but he was until he got hurt. Greg Jones makes it. Randy Moss makes it. We have a lot of guys that actually make it from our team, believe it or not. Even Gates gets in. Our entire line made it once again. But yeah, it's just disappointing. So I'm going to let this run, show the AFC and the NFC teams, and then we'll get to the offseason, because there were a lot of moves that had to be made, because I still want to keep the team together for Season 6, because I don't know if we're going to be riding this any longer in Season 6. But, you know, I want to keep the team together, so, yeah. Just so y'all know what's going on. We did have 3 cornerbacks make it, plus Antro Roll, Sean Taylor, and Ed Reed. So we had 6 guys from our secondary make the Pro Bowl. That is ridiculous, I will say that. We had Trufant, Shepard, and Samuel there at corner. You know, I already named the other 3 safeties. So here's how the NFC looked. So yeah, we'll get to the offseason as soon as this is done. So I'll cut this out, stop talking, see the rest of this, and then I'll start talking when we get to the moves. And unfortunately, we only made $21.45 million this year. That's less than normal. But also, to everyone's credit, as everyone knows, Cleveland does not have a very big market. Bill Cowher's retired from the Steelers. Oh, your son's high school gave you an offer. I don't even think that's true. He probably just wanted to go to CBS, and the Steelers stink right now in this, so that's probably why he left, low-key. So we're getting Don Capers, and then I think it was, who was our OC? Who do we get for OC? I can't even remember. It just showed the name. But you guys know, rewind it back and see. Those are our offensive defensive coordinators. Still Jeff Fisher's system, though. Corey Dillon's retiring. I saw the writing on the wall. He was getting washed up, and he wasn't even starting for the Steelers. So, yeah, I'll show the rest of these guys. I don't think we have anybody. We still have a really young team, Cleveland. We drafted very young. I think we only had, like, 1 player at age 30 when we started. Thrash is the only one I think that's retired in all 4 or 5 seasons that we've done this. So interesting. That Terrence Wilkins actually went to my high school. That's why it's funny they're showing that. Well, my first high school, not the one I graduated from, but I did my freshman and sophomore year at a Catholic school. So you can look that up if you want. I'm not going to say the name, but, you know, if you want to be nosy and do your research on Terrence Wilkins, you can see the high school. So, yeah. So you are going to see several trades made. I'm going to talk as fast as I can to say them all. Pruitt, because we have 4 safety 90+ overall and his morale will start to drop, he needs to be starting, so we're sending him to the Bears. St. Clair is getting released in roster management. Merriman's holding out, we'll pay him. Leto is holding out, we'll pay him. Danielson is getting high with his overall, so we're going to get rid of him. And we're going to go ahead and send him over and give him measly picks that we probably won't even be able to pay the guys anyway. So Green Bay, we get their 2nd round pick and we give him Danielson, and then the 6th and the 7th round. Akbar is going to the Niners. 1 season in Cleveland, didn't really play much, and his overall started going high. This guy Reed is frustrated, so you want to get traded? Fine, we'll trade you. Yeah, I really don't have any patience. If you guys want to get traded, you can go get traded to somebody and you probably won't win anything. I think everybody I've traded, none of them have won anything that have asked to be traded at least. So we're going to send him for a 4th round pick to Philly. We probably could have gotten more, but that's just the kind of disrespect I'm on right now. Like, I return energy. You don't want to be here, I'm going to make you look bad. And I sent him to the Eagles for a 4th round pick. Didn't even want more for him, and I could have gotten more for him. Like, look, the Cardinals like this trade. I could ask for more if I want to. We got to send Boss Bailey here because of salary, and we're going to get this backup safety, Nick Collins, who, remember, he played for the Packers, and I think he had something happen with his neck, and he had to have a career-ending injury. But, yeah, we're sending Nick Collins. Or we're getting Nick Collins, and we're sending Boss Bailey to the Cardinals. We pay Sean Merriman, so there we go. And then we got all these guys. Greenwood, he's going to get let go. Parker, we're bringing him back because he's dirt cheap right now. And we'll give him a big deal because I want him to stay. DeMarcus Ware, my plan is he's going to be right outside linebacker, and Sean Merriman is going to be moved to left outside linebacker, and we're going to go with those 2 guys starting, which I think is pretty dangerous, which means I'll have to run a 3-4 front a little bit, even though the DNs, it's not their ideal fit. Albert Hainsworth, he has a big contract, so we have to send him to Seattle. We're getting Olivia Lofa-Tatupu and Todd Harriman, so players so we can fill those player requirements. And then we just sent somebody to the Saints. Shoot, I couldn't even see the name. I'm trying to talk as fast as I can. Morales, a 3rd and a 4th to the Titans for a backup outside linebacker. Sullivan, he's some cat they drafted. And then there was another offer for Ware. And we're releasing Roll, Lieber, and Greenwood. And I can't remember where they all went. Actually, I do remember. I'm going to spoil because I didn't show the free agents. Shame on me. I apologize. I tried to show some at the end. I said, Shum, I'm serious. I'm tripping. I am tripping. I apologize that I'm all over the place making this video. I am trying here, I promise. So I'm trying to get somebody for the 1st round pick. I think I ended up going with Styles after you can see what I'm looking at. I'm trying to see who has a good interview and a good IQ because you can't teach that stuff. I mean, you can get these athletic guys, but if they don't know what they're doing at the end of the day, it usually doesn't work out for them in sports. Seen it myself. We get this guy here, Hunter. So, yeah, Styles, he's going to be here. We got the cap room. Also, I'll have to speak on some trades at the end because we're not done. I will say another thing. It came down to some cap space. I think we ended up giving Sean Taylor an extension, but before we gave him the extension, I was an idiot. I should have given Sean Taylor the extension first, but I traded Rose, our receiver that we drafted last year. Barry Rose, he's going to the Bears as well. And I think I made a trade at the end, which I should show. I believe I did in this video. As I'm showing you, we're signing these 2 guys. Howard, we couldn't afford to sign, which is disappointing. We drafted him in the 2nd round and cut him. I hate to do it because it's not respectful, you know, and it's not realistic. You don't draft a guy in the 2nd round and draft him. And then this guy, Green, we drafted him last year. You see, we just need to get somebody cheaper, so that's what we do. And we have to cut that guy, Howard. But Styles and Hunter are here to stay. That's what's up. And then I submit an offer for Gill and Thomas, who are like the cheapest D tackles. And they are going to be behind Vince Wilfork. So we'll see what we do. But yeah, like I said, I didn't show it in the video, but Sean Taylor got an extension that freed up some space because it was back heavy. And signing Thomas, we couldn't do that. So we end up still having to make some moves because we were low on defensive tackles. But again, my point is this. You know, sometimes moves had to be made. We wanted to keep some pieces together. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Phillip Rivers signed with the Eagles. And then you'll see a couple other interesting signings. I think Chad Johnson went somewhere else. I can't remember exactly. But this guy right here, Chauncey Green, is the 1st overall pick, in case anybody cared. So, interesting stuff there. And if I don't show anything else, I promise